Welcome, my peace, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peace, my peoples. Let's talk about Empire, Season 4, Episode 8, Cupid Painted Blind. Oh my goodness, they had me blind. I was blind. So we start off the scene with, Cookie, Lucius, and Jamal basically, and Thirsty. And Thirsty's informing him that Jamal will be charged with assault and battery, disturbing the peace, destruction of private property, and leaving the scene of a crime or whatever. And Cookie was like, my baby didn't flee from no scene of a crime. Cookie says he stumped him. He stumped his tail for betrayal and stepped over him like he was trash. I was like, yo, Cookie, what are you talking about? And it's like Cookie is giving shine to, Jamal for stumping out Warren. And, Lucius still feel helpless. You can tell Lucius really feel helpless. And then how Cookie is praising Jamal, he feels some type of way about that or whatever. And so, basically Thirsty says we got 10 hours to get to, Warren, and basically change his mind, have him tell the police that he started it, that he assaulted or hit, Jamal first, and then everything will be all good. So first they have to find Warren, and Thirsty is like, he's under guard, he's under protection, he could be anywhere in the city and we don't know where he's at. And Cookie was like, I'll find him because ain't nobody gonna mess with me and my babies. And she's like, ain't nobody messing with me and my babies. And she was getting ready to cook. She was like, you know what, Jamal, I'm gonna fix you something to eat. And then, Hakeem and Andre, they show up to the crib or whatever. And so, Jamal's like, what's going on? Is this some type of intervention? What's going on? What's going on with here? I ain't on drugs. I ain't using drugs. Because Cookie was like, I'm about to cook you something to eat, Jamal, because you look a little flush. And so that's when Hakeem was like, this is what this is, an intervention? Hell no, I'm getting the hell up out of here. He was like, I'm bouncing. I thought that was so funny. When he was like, this is what this is? And he was trying to bounce and he's trying to leave. Because he was like, I ain't trying to be a part of no intervention or whatever. So Cookie's looking all over for pills and all this other stuff. And Jamal was like, yo, I'm not using any drugs. I ain't doing no drugs. I'm clean or whatever. And then Lucius tells Hakeem, sit down, boy, sit down, because I need to talk to you. The family's in crisis, basically. And they're talking about, they're trying to talk to, Andre to find out anything new in his life, what's going on different in his life, there's any new people, or basically trying to find out something different that's not normal, because we see that Mrs. Diane Dubois is attacking her children one by one, piecing them, breaking them up apart or whatever. And Andre, he's combative. He was like, no, I got a new tailor, I got a new package person delivered, or new PS guy, a new FedEx guy, whatever. And so they was like, no, we're not talking about that. And so Lucius is like, I'm talking about the matters of the heart. Anything in your heart is new. And then Andre is not saying anything, but he did, he's dating this girl, the detective named Pamela Rose. He's dating her, and it was like, maybe it could be something with that. He was like, nah, it ain't nothing with that or whatever. He doesn't really say anything about her. He was like, it's no big deal. And I was like, yo, but you tried to introduce us to her or whatever. And so, so they're like, you know what? I ain't got time for this or whatever. So then, Hakeem says to, Andre, hey, listen, if you don't want to listen, you want to be stupid and get messed up, then you get stupid, then you get messed up. But before then, Andre, he says that, no, ain't nothing new going on in my life. I'm not out here I'm not out here beating my boyfriends up or having, domestic, violence going on in public or whatever. And, Jamal is sitting there like, how come you throwing shade at me? And then when Hakeem was getting ready to leave, he tells, Andre, well, if you don't want to listen, you want to be stupid and all that stuff, then you get whatever happens to you. You deserve whatever happens to you if you don't want to listen to them or whatever. I'm out of here. And he was like, and he says to Andre, don't be out here in public beating up your boyfriend. It's like, yo, they're taking shots at Jamal. I was like, yo, Jamal's sitting right there. So they're taking shots at Jamal, making fun of him. Jamal was like, you know what, F both of y'all. Like, I don't gotta listen to this. Jamal was like, fall back. So, anyways, we cut to, you know, Angelo. He's at the hotel, and he's up there watching Warren. Warren is all beat up and all messed up and everything. So he's watching Warren, and he's making fun of Warren, like, you know, I never thought that I would see you get beat up by a lion, especially by Jamal, and you didn't even fight back. I never saw anything that sad and simple in my life. I was like, Angela, why you gotta go there? He was like, you didn't even fight back. Do you remember what I told you, Warren? Never fall in love with a lion, because they hurt you, they break your heart. I was like, yo. I was like, it's too funny. And then Warren is sitting there all beat up and all messed up. But this actually shows, like, this episode actually shows that, you know, Warren did fall for Jamal or whatever. But we learned the reason why, you know, Mrs. Diane Dubois was able to use Warren is because supposedly she's supposed to help Warren get his life back on track and also help out his father. So it seems like Warren needed some help, and Mrs. Diane Dubois, she was actually using Warren because he needed some help. His father needed some help. So she actually really don't even love the people that are in her circle. So that's a difference between her and Cookie, because Cookie actually loves her family, I guess, if you want to put that, you know, together, whatever. And so, you know, Angela was like, well, this is the bodyguard that's going to be watching over you and taking care of you or whatever, Bre-z and the third. And so, you know, now Andre, he calls, you know, the detective or whatever. But you know what? Also, Angelo tells, you know, Warren that he can go back to California and live his life and get his life back on track. So maybe Warren has a lot of problems, and his father does too, and they need Mrs. Diane Dubois to help them. And it's like Angelo is ruthless now. Angelo don't care. He low down dirty now. He ain't no nice individual for the people anymore. He's in there for vengeance, and plus he's drinking a lot. It's like he became an alcoholic as well. So anyways, we move on from that, and then we get, you know, Andre, he's out in public, he's yelling and he's screaming at, you know, Pamela Rose because, you know, he's accusing her of being used by the Diane Dubois and trying to set him up. And then Pamela was like, no, that's not true, whatever. So he's yelling, he's screaming in public, and he's doing all that craziness. And guess who's watching him? Thirsty. Thirsty's been following him. So Thirsty calls Lucius, was like, yo, Lucius, come through. Your son's out here, you know, causing a scene. So Lucius comes through. He tries to talk to Andre, and so they're talking and whatever, and he was, you know, Lucius like, can I help you in any way? He was like, well, just accusing, you know, Pamela Rose or whatever. Now she walked out on, I mean, that's the only person I loved since, you know, Rhonda or whatever. So Andre, he walks off, he leaves, and it's just like, damn, Andre, why are you doing it like that? And so then we move on to, you know, oh, you know what else was funny too? When Cookie was saying the three blind mice, the three stupid blind ass mice, that's what she called her sons, because they don't want to pay no attention to her and listening to her. And the first like scene, I thought that was funny too as well. I just remember that. So anyways, you know, Cookie's having flashbacks of her being locked up and her being in jail. And basically she's having these flashbacks, in my opinion, is because now she's at war again. Like, she's at war, particularly with Mrs. Diane Dubois, and there's no games. It's all out war because she's attacking, Diane is attacking her kids and her family, and she's attacking them. And in her prison, you know, flashback is her, you know, helping someone give birth and fighting against the guards and building a bond with these women, because a part of her life, 17 years, you know, the prison guards was her enemy. Some of them, not most of them, but most of them was her enemy, but not all of them. But the women that, you know, were inmates with her, were like her family, were like her children, were like her kids. They had a bond. There's nothing they wouldn't do for each other, and they went through hell. And so that part of Cookie's coming back out, that prison, that prison, I don't care, like, I'm locked up in the cage, I'm an animal, my back is up against the wall, and I'm coming for you. So that's how Cookie is looking at everything, especially when she has her flashbacks, in my opinion. So moving on from that, we get Cookie, you know, she's arguing with, you know, Lucius and telling Lucius, hey, like, listen, like, yo, you know, I don't know why, you know, you're not supporting me, and like, you need to with, you know, Jamal and all this other good stuff, because you know, I need you to be the real Lucius. I need you to be the old Lucius. If that's not in you, then I need you to go somewhere and do an orchestra, do something, make yourself useful. So basically, and Lucius like, I got this. It's like Lucius is, you know, it's kind of like, you know, an imp with Cookie now, like, you know, but he's kind of getting there, but he's not, because but I think, you know, watching his family crumble, he might be able to come through. I don't know if he's going to be able to come through, but maybe he might. Because the old Lucius would have just got Miss Diane Dubois and got, you know, Angelo and had him up in a warehouse torturing them. The old Lucius wouldn't play. So I don't even know if the old Lucius even have his friends. And sometimes Lucius did all his dirt by himself most of the time. And so, so Cookie goes up to Miss Diane Dubois while she's with her security or whatever. And, you know, she tells her, hey, this is the ring that Angelo wanted to give me. He said it was his grandmother, so I'm giving you the ring back. And so, you know, Miss Diane Dubois is like, you know what? These security guards will either shoot you or put you in jail, lock you up where you belong, you know, like or they'll throw you in traffic, basically. Diane ain't playing with Cookie. She ain't playing with Cookie. You don't mess with Angelo, mess his chances up for either governor or mayor. So anyways, Diane tries to reach for the ring from Cookie. Cookie throws the ring box in the street. The security guards, they run and try to get the ring. And so basically, the security guards are running into traffic, and Thirsty's taking pictures, because I believe they're going to use this saying that Mrs. Diane Dubois was chasing Cookie, had the security guards after her, or some type of thing that she's going to use in the public and the media to try to bash Miss Diane Dubois as well. And then also Thirsty was able to take pictures of her security and people that she rose with, so now they're gonna know how many security guards does she have, who's with her, who's not with her. So if they ever needed to plan an attack Mrs. Diane Dubois, they got pictures of who they need to look out with and how many gentlemen are around securing, you know, Miss Diane or whatever. So moving on from that, Thirsty was like, you know, I got the pictures, it's all good. And Cookie was like, it took everything in me not to beat her, not to give her a beat down, a smackdown, WWF, you know, because she'd been knocked up for 17 years and you're messing with her family or whatever. And so we get Shine's in the studio with Tiana or whatever, and she's recording music. And the music that she's recording actually sounds good. And guess who walks in the studio? None other than Hakeem. He's upset. He's telling Shine, why are you working with her? And Shine was like, well, you know, we got a new DJ or whatever. And then, you know, Shine was also like, for the 2020 album, I want to get every artist on Empire at least a track or whatever. And I thought Tiana was able to convince you because she's your girl. And then Jamal was like, Jamal was like, for number one, she's not my girl. Number two, I got better things to do. I was like, and number three, and number three, I don't rap for off-brand rappers. And number four, he says to Tiana that you need some auto-tunes on that mess that you singing. And she slapped him so hard. She gave him the WWF smack. Woo! I was like, yo. Tiana was like, you spoiled little brat. She smacked the living daylights out of Hakeem. And Hakeem was like, did you see that, Shine? And Shine was like, yeah, I seen what you said to her. And so then, you know, Hakeem was like, well, you know what? I don't ever want to fall in love again. I don't ever want to be with another woman again and all this other stuff. And so Shine was like, yo, young man, looks like you need some help. I'm not your father, but come take a ride with me. So they go take a ride. They go for a ride. They go for a piff ride or whatever. So anyways, after that, so Thirsty is at, you know, back at the Empire, and he's looking at Mrs. Dubois security guards, and he finds out that she travels with 5 because he actually has a friend that works for a security agency or whatever. So he knows she has 5, and when they took pictures of the security guard earlier in the episode, they only counted 4, so there's 1 missing. And so whoever that one's missing is probably Guard and Warren. So that's what, you know, Thirsty figured out. They got his name, they got his picture, and, you know, Thirsty's gonna send that information over to Cookie, because but first Lucy was like, so you're gonna handle that? He was like, I would, but Cookie said that she's been locked up for 17 years, so I ain't nothing I can do, so I'm gonna send her the address. And then, you know, Lucius was like, well, when you're done with that, I need you. He was like, for sure, boss. You got, I just love Thirsty. I love me some Thirsty. So anyways, and Jamal looked mad nice in his jean outfit. So did Andre. Andre looked good in all black. And Jamal looked flustered. He didn't look flushed. He was tired. He looked like he pulled the all-nighter. And so, and Lucius is looking a lot younger for some reason. And so, moving on from that, Cookie's gonna go over there to find out where Warren is holed up at and where he's at or whatever. They find out that he's in some hotel in Midtown, and they're gonna find out where he be at. And basically, you know, Andre's been calling Pamela Rose and calling her and leaving messages and all that other good stuff. And it's just like, damn, Andre and Pamela Rose. And so, but Thirsty is still out here watching Andre every move that he makes, making sure he ain't doing nothing crazy, making sure he ain't doing nothing stupid. But yeah, Andre's out here losing it. So, you know, Thirsty, you know, Thirsty is actually doing his job. He's actually checking on all the kids, and because now they've realized that Diane Dubois is coming for all the kids, and she's messing them over some way and somehow. So it ain't no joke at all. So Thirsty is going to check out who Pamela Rose is and all this other stuff. Then we get a scene where Jamal is about to use drugs, but he doesn't use the drugs yet, but he has drugs stashed in his house. So if Cookie would have kept looking, maybe she would have found him. He got a bottle of alcohol out. He's ready to get lit. And so we get to Hakeem. He's still riding with Shine. Shine brings Hakeem to his house and meets his kids, his family. And Shine has 3 baby mothers, and he has a couple of kids with each of them or whatever. And he's letting and so, you know, Hakeem is like, yo, I never even knew you had kids. He was like, yeah, I keep my business private from that. And he was like, you know, we have a family together. I have all my kids together. All my kids together, all my baby moms together. One's not here because she's visiting her father, but family is most important than anything. You never let nothing come between you and your family. He also let him know that he doesn't mess with women in the industry. He doesn't shit where he sleeps, and he doesn't mess around where he works at, and doesn't mess with industry women. And so then Jamal was like, yo, listen, Tiana is my love. We have good chemistry. We have a great relationship. And he was like, relationships can't be broken unless they have a bond of family and blood, and chemistry can go away. And he was like, yo, family is the most important thing, and you don't let nothing become between you and your children. You know, Shine is acting like Santa Claus with his kids, bringing them toys and balls and stuff, and playing like a whole different guy. He's living in the suburbs. He's not in the hood. It's like totally different. And so he tells, you know, Hakeem, listen, he's like, yo, you need to tattoo on your eyelids that nothing becomes between you and your family. Nothing becomes between you and your kids. No courts, no judges, no nothing. Nothing becomes between you and your kids. And so, you know, Jamal takes that information. Hakeem takes that information. He's going to run with it to go see Anika. But the thing about that is Shine telling, you know, Hakeem that because he's working for Mrs. Dubois, because Shine would do anything to try to take down Empire and take over Empire. So is he giving, you know, Hakeem the heads up to let him go after, you know, Anika and do something crazy, because, you know, he's unstable too, like his brothers, that, you know, he'll end up committing a crime. So I don't know if Shine was actually doing it from the goodness of his heart, or did he know who he was giving that message to, that he's actually going to go do something? So Hakeem goes over there to Anika's house, and he finds out that Anika is supposedly living with Angelo. That's what the nanny or the housekeeper tells Hakeem, but we don't know if that's true. We don't know if Anika was in there with the baby just to get under Hakeem's skin and to make him act erratic again and act crazy. So it is what it is. And so we're back to the scene with Jamal. He doesn't take the pills, but he actually starts drinking and reminiscing about Warren, how heartbroken he is, how hurt he is, and all this other good stuff. And it's like, damn, I thought you was going to take them pills, Jamal, but it will be soon before he takes some pills. I hope he doesn't get back on drugs, but he just might get back on drugs. And It's just like crazy, man. I'm just like, oh, I thought he was gonna take them pills. I really did. And you know, Lucius really feel like, you know, something's going on with Andre, that Andre is lying and not telling the truth. And basically, he's really got thirsty on the case to find out who the hell this Pamela Rose is and where she come from and all this other good stuff. And so Cookie shows up to the hotel where, you know, Warren is at, and she has the burner on her. She has the you know, the picture of the security guard, and she goes in there, she talks to Warren, and Warren says, I'll do anything you say, you know, because now he's so in awe and he's so in love with, you know, Jamal. So she got the gun pointing at Warren, and Warren is like, hey, listen, this is how they're gonna mess with Andre, with his doctors, with his pills. So now they found out the angle that Miss Diane Dubois was gonna use against, you know, Andre, and it's probably too late, maybe. And Warren says he's willing to go to the cops and say that he actually attacked, you know, Jamal first or whatever. So Jamal's in his house, he's drinking and reminiscing or whatever. And then, you know, Hakeem, he shows up with groceries. They put it, and Hakeem is like, what are you doing drinking? And you know, Jamal's like, you know, would you come in and lecture me or whatever? So then Jamal starts to drink. Jamal's drinking. Then Hakeem starts to drink, and Hakeem has groceries in his hand. He takes the groceries and pour them all on the floor. I was like, he's so ignorant sometimes. And so they started drinking or whatever. And he was like, yo, you know, Hakeem was like, yo, I need to take out the Dubois. I need to take him out. I need to get him. I need to murk one of them or whatever, because he's thinking about what Shine told him. So I don't know if Shine purposely put that in his head so he could do something stupid and get locked up. So anyways, so from that situation, he was like, and so, you know, Jamal was like, yo, listen, you can't murk anybody. Come on, you can't do that. He was like, oh, what? I'm going to sit here and watch my brother drink himself to death. It's like Hakeem has been taking shots at Jamal all episode when they have scenes together or whatever. And so it is what it is with that situation. And then we get to, you know, Andre, he's talking to Pamela Rose or whatever, and she comes through the crib and she tells him that, you know, that she killed somebody, here's the gun or whatever. And then, you know, Andre ended up confessing to her that he blew up his father. And then come to find out that this is just a figment of Andre's imagination. Pamela Rose doesn't exist. So he thinks he killed Pamela Rose. He thinks he confessed to Pamela Rose. And that's when Cookie, Lucius, and Thirsty, they find out that Andre doctor has been, you know, giving him the wrong medication. So they're trying to get in contact with him. They go over to the crib. He's acting crazy. He's hitting the floor. He done lost it. And Cookie was like, you see what that heifer did to my baby? You see what she did to my baby? And it's like Lucius is helpless at this point. And it's like Cookie is have to take the battle all by herself. But, you know, I feel like Lucius is going to come back soon. The vicious Lucius, the vicious Lucius. And even, you know, and Andre's delusional stay, he was like, you know, he even had the name that Pamela told him that she killed some dude named Marlo Jones. I was like, oh my goodness. But then we get back to, you know, Hakeem and Jamal. So they end up deleting all of Warren's verses on Jamal's, you know, 2020 album, and then they do a clap back. They do a diss track towards, you know, Warren. They're drinking and having fun and making music together. This reminds me of like season 1, season 2, where when Jamal and Andre used to make music together, when they used to be so creative together, when they wasn't battling each other, when Lucius caused them to battle each other. So it was good to see them make music together, and I did like the music they was making together. To me, it sounded good, my opinion. So that's what I think. You tell me what you think about the music in this episode. I think the music with Tiana and Jamal and Hakeem in this episode, I thought it was pretty decent. You tell me if you think it was decent or not. So moving on from that, it's just like, damn, Pamela Rose doesn't exist, man. I was falling for Pamela Rose. I thought she was real. And Pamela Rose was like, Juliana Green is dead. So is Juliana really dead? And she was like, she's the Metro Vegas police. I was like, damn, his delusional was so real. And so they give us a flashback showing us that, you know, everybody that, you know, when he was talking, Andre thought he was talking to Pamela, and at the restaurant, he was really talking to himself. He was actually having a breakdown, and so who was he calling, leaving messages on the answer machine? Like, yo, is this real? Like, she really was delusional. She really didn't exist. Like, damn, that means that his medication really messed him up, because I think the doctor increased his medicine 3 doses. So is Andre actually going to come back to normal? Is he actually going to come back to life? My God. OMG. So Cookie is just too through. She's crying. Lucius is crying because there's no nothing. And plus Thirsty found out that there's no Pamela Rose that actually works for NYPD. So damn, it's crazy. I don't even know what to say. They got me on that one. This was a good episode. They got me because I thought Pamela Rose was real. Peace. I'm out. One love.